Sometimes I run into these deals at Kroger. Let me shut my truck door. And I can't pass them up. This is one of them. Right now, I don't know where you're at, if they have the same deal, but in my neck of the woods, they have buy one of these cases of 24-pack of water, and you buy 3 and you get 3 for free. So I am loading up on this water. But what we're gonna be going over today, this 10 Toes Tuesday, and keeping it down with you, is chastising people. I want to know your thoughts about it. I don't believe in it, but it happened to me this week. And I talk about my dad often and how good our relationship is, but that relationship takes work, and we're working on it. We're also going to be talking a little bit about secret societies, fraternities, things like that. I'll make it as short as possible. Well, my dad and I, we for the most part have a good relationship. It wasn't always the case. 2, 4, 6, 8. I got 4 more. But we're getting past it. It's, you know, old bull, young bull type things. You know, I call him every morning at 6:30. I'm just gotta keep it all the way down, but with you guys. But he pissed me off. 2, 4, 6, 10. And he knew he did, and he did it on purpose. That's what we're gonna be going over today. Now, not any fault of his. He genuinely believes, and still believes, that he did the right thing. To me, he did not, but you have to live with it. If this is your first time joining, they call me Unc, Big Unc. I do old head reviews. I do these 10 Toes Tuesdays. I do some rants. I like guns, so I do some gun reviews. If this is something you're into, stick around. If not, go ahead and click off. No hard feelings. But in Ohio, it's a little dusty out here today. The sun, it's a little gray right now. I'm in my little small 1-horse town. I'm gonna get on the road, and then we'll get into the story when I get back. A lot of times we believe that we're doing the right thing, and actually we may be causing more harm than is intended. And sometimes, and a lot of times, it comes down to how you phrase things, how you word things. And he totally worded this incorrectly. Past couple of years have been pretty hard for me, and he knows that. We get on the phone 6:30. That's it. You know, good morning, how are you? He says good morning. And he says, I want to talk to you. And okay. And I've been praying lately, and I've been reading my Bible. And the Bible told me that I should chastise you. So I'm looking. Said, what? He said, yeah. Bible says I should chastise you. Look who's back. Look who's back. This little dude won't go away. Let me go release him. We'll get back to the story. All right, go on. He said a parent should chastise the child. And I'm like, no, you know, you've been chastising me my whole life. Now I'm grown. I ain't going for no more 12-year-old bullshit. So he starts in on, I want to save your soul. I want you to go to heaven. Oh, you know, I can get down with that. Then he starts pretty much insulting my fraternity that he knows nothing about. And we'll get to that part in a minute, and why that's so important. He says, my religion says is against it. Okay, well, I'm not your religion. Remember, he's Seventh-day Adventist. See, my religion says that I'm against it. I said, do you know anything about it? No. You just know what you've been read and what you've been told. And he agreed pretty much he had. So if you don't know anything about my fraternity, and you don't know anything about what it stands for, what it does, then how are you upset? Which he didn't have a problem with it before. As a matter of fact, they were proud of me for becoming who I am, because my fraternity is one to teach you how to be a better man. It encourages you to be a better man. It has principles and teachings that you are to abide by, and oaths that you have to take. What it doesn't do is, it doesn't separate religions. And sometimes everybody talks about gangs and things like that. The church is like a gang. You got your Seventh-day Adventists, you know, the SDA. You got your, you know, you got your Baptists. You got your big C, your big Catholics. You got everything. And what that ends up doing is it divides you, whether you realize it or not. And it says, my religion is better than yours, and I believe in this God. Well, I don't have a necessarily religion. I believe in a higher power, and the fraternity I'm in believes that everyone is equal. Everyone has a right to worship, pray, do whatever they do to their God, and you can be part of this as long as you believe that there is a higher power. And then you have certain things that you have to go through, that if you, at any time, if you don't believe that, or that's not your belief, you don't have to go any further, and you'll just be where the part that you're at. And so he was a little bit upset about that. I also told him that for the most part, which is true, Christians aren't Christian. It's a label. More Christians and more people have been killed in wars due to Christian faith in a God than this oil, really, that we're fighting about now. So before it was Christianity, and now it's over oil. It's the bottom line. You don't have to believe me if you don't want to, but that it is what it is. But the part that really pissed me off was him talking about he's going to chastise me. Now, don't little boy me. I'm 50. He finally came up for a breath and asked me what I thought. Let me speak. So I told him all of that. I told him you know, you don't need to chastise me. I don't need that. I've had this all my life, people trying to chastise, trying to tell me what they feel is right or wrong, and push their beliefs on me. I totally despise that. I try not to push my beliefs on anybody. I guess sometimes I probably do because I am a product of my father. But, you know, now that I know better, I do better. But he got everything off his chest, and then he was okay. He doesn't care if you're pissed off or not, or if he said anything wrong. He just wanted to get that off of his chest. So if you find yourself doing that, cut it out. Don't do that. That endears you to no one, and it especially doesn't endear you to me. So I had two choices. Well, three actually. I could cuss him out, not talk to him again, because there's a couple people that know that I, you know, unless you come back and you apologize and we make this right, we won't be speaking again. I could tell him he was right and lie and sit there and not say anything and sulk, which that's not me either, because he wasn't right. What he said wasn't right, and I'm not going to play that with him. Or I could try to, like a man, explain my situation in the best English that I could and let him know my point of view, where I was coming from, but at the same time hold my ground. And then I can't do this part anymore. So that's what I told him. I said, you know, I like calling you in the mornings, but I'm not going to call to be chastised every morning. I'm not going to call to have Sermon on the Mount every morning. I want to call to talk to you as my dad. I don't need to be chastised. I need my dad to love me. And that's what I try to do with my kids. When I get on the phone, I don't try to chastise them. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see what their thoughts are. And just because I don't believe everything they do, it doesn't mean that I don't believe in them. And for me to show them that I do believe in them, if they ask for my advice, I'll give them the advice. But I try not to push my beliefs on them. And that's what is done here. And I did tell him that you're trying to push your beliefs on me. You've done this since I was as a kid. Now, some of the lessons I agree with that he taught me. It made me the man I am today. But some of this stuff is just him being him with religion. And that's another part. I do not like religious people when they shove their religion down your throat, or people who try to shove everything down your throat anyway. Let people live. Let them make their own decision, but you can do it in such a way that you don't have to infringe on anybody or little boy them, little girl them. I get enough of that just being a black male, to be honest with you. We live by two sets of rules. And for those who know, you know. Here comes the part that I haven't told you that we need to talk about. And it may piss some of you guys off. Some people may like it, some people may not. Some people may click off, some people may unsubscribe from the channel. And that is okay, that's your right. I'm not trying to infringe on that. Don't get in the comment section and start your bullshit. That's what I don't want to have happen. I joined the largest and oldest fraternity in the world. I joined the fraternity that has made every other fraternity ever in the existence of mankind, with a lot of their rituals and things, to be able to exist. I am a Freemason. I am a F and AM Mason. I'm not a Prince Hall Mason. We'll get into that story later. But my dad was upset because he's like, well, you guys have secrets. You're a secret society. No, we are a society with secrets. And what I mean by that is, it's just like a family. In your household, you have, your family doesn't go out and blab everything that's going on, right? You have some things that are kept to you. And I have said and gave my word that I would not reveal any of the secrets. Now, I can tell you stuff about Freemasonry, but I don't have to, I can't reveal certain things to you because I gave my word I wouldn't. And if I give you my word, I try my best to keep my word. So that's what I am. I'm free and accepted Mason. And I said, do you know anything about it? No. And how are you going to judge us? Well, your secrets. Okay, don't you have secrets? Don't our family have secrets? You know about his PTSD, but my brother had PTSD. I have PTSD, and we've all on paperwork that says that. Mine was when I was a very small child, and it's documented as that. But it doesn't mean I'm any less of a man, or it just means that if you come messing with me, I just don't bark sometimes. Something sets me off, and some people I won't talk to. There's certain triggers that I have that when I meet people, if I like you well enough, I will let you in to tell you what those are. But that's one of my secrets that now you know. I'm not saying I'm Billy Badass. I'm not saying I'm gonna fight. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying I have some triggers from some of the life I've lived and some things that have been put on me that have me react a certain way. But that's what pissed him off. I think that's what pisses a lot of people off is with Freemasonry is you want to know these secrets. So just because you don't know these secrets, you say that we're bad people and that we ride goats and we're worshiping Baphomet and whatever else stuff that I've heard. But if you don't know, you don't know. So you should stop. Let me get on with these rocks. That's what it is. I always keep it 10 toes down. I kept it 10 toes down with him, and he kept it 10 toes down with me. Now, we got off the phone, said I love you, which we meant, and it was just two men that butt heads, old bull, young bull, and there's nothing changed. We've just been working our relationship, and we're getting stronger. But he knows he pissed me off. He knows he was wrong for that. Even though he thinks he's not, he knows he was wrong for that. You don't call a grown man talking about you going to chastise him. I told him, I don't say anything about your religion. I don't want to be a part of your religion. And I gave him the reasons why, because when I grew up, I saw people that were yelling at other people and church members saying, you shouldn't be gay, this is wrong, all this. And it turns out they were gay. There ain't nothing wrong with who you love and who you want to be with or whatever. That's not the point. It's the point that you got up there and telling other people some stuff that you doing. That turned me off. Then they'll tell you, no sex before marriage and, adultery and all this. And I've seen all of it run rampant through the SDA church. I can't speak for any other, yes I can, for a couple other religions. I watch all these Christians on television doing the hypocritical stuff they do. I don't need to go to a organized religion, so to speak, in order to have a personal relationship with my God, with the great architect. I don't have to. What I do need to do is have a personal relationship with him. What I do need to do is walk, talk, and present myself as a man. And keep it G with you. So, I am going to go finish doing these rocks. I've almost got the back. I'm starting on the backyard now. I did this earlier, and we'll get into my little garden around there a little bit later. But I think it looks good. Oh, let me show you around my little tree. So it's taken me a long time. Took me a couple weekends. It's the final weekend, the final big push to get this done. So hey, you guys, be real with yourself. Be humble, but don't be a punk. And until next time, and you know, there will be a next time. I'm out.